everyone. I'm here today with a new process video, and I'm working with some photos from New York. As you can see, this is from the Morgan Library and Museum. This was one of the top things I wanted to do on this trip to New York. I wasn't sure when or how we were going to fit it in, and it worked out that we fit it in on the first day, which was awesome. But as you can see, I've got a lot of blank space here. I have no background, so I need to figure out what I'm going to do there. I have planned a photo flip because I have this available, which I could journal here or here, depends on what I end up doing. There's my other photo, there's the one in the back, so those will be what's in the flip, which I also already have ready. I made several because I knew I'd be needing them in here. And then this is my photo on the bottom. So I've got a lot of red happening and then sort of goldish brown. I'm wondering if I can find some kind of specialty paper for this side. Maybe a vellum with foil, something that adds a little bling that will go with this, because this is insanely gorgeous. It's very stately, very refined. It says money. So clearly this guy had money if he could have a personal library that was this massive, all to himself. So I need to find something kind of special for the background over here, I think. All right, I've grabbed out a bunch of different possible background papers for this, and they're quite varied. So I have this because I thought maybe that would work. Now when I see it up close, it looks better with this than this. This is clearly a different red, so I don't know that that's gonna work. This, which is gorgeous, and it's foiled. The only problem is the only place you really see that matching color is peeking through the window over there, but it is there. So maybe clearly I would have to mat it on white or something to get that to work, but I like it. We'll see. And then I pulled this one. I wasn't sure that would be a good fit, but I have so much white here, I thought maybe having white on the opposite page would be a good idea. I think I'd have to mat this maybe in brown or something. So I'm not saying no to it, but I'm just not sure. I pulled this vellum. I wasn't sure about this color. There's a tiny bit of it here, a little bit in the light. Maybe, it's not horrible, but maybe. And then I have an overlay here, some acetate. It's not horrible. I would definitely have to matte something. Again, maybe a brown with just this peeking through, or put brown behind here and use this whole 4x8 as an overlay. Ooh, maybe I could do that. And then I had this one, and I could do the pattern either way. Oh, you know what? I don't like that at all. I don't like it with these stripes here. So that one's a no. All right. And you know what? I think we're just going to say no to this one too. So really, I have these four. So I have to figure out what's going to look best behind. I'm actually quite intrigued by this to see if I found a brown background, somewhat akin to that, how it would look. I kind of like the white peeking through because of this white, but it's a lot. So I'm willing to entertain the brown in the background instead. Okay, after putzing around with all those papers, I think I'm going with this combo. I really, really tried to make this work with this behind it. That's why this is cut to a 4x8. But I just was not loving these little dots with this stripe. I don't know. I'm still not loving it with this, but because the flip that I've made is white, if I really hated it, I could just cut off this bottom part, attach it to the white flip, and it would look the same without the stripe. So I might do it, but we'll see. But for now, I think I'm going to cut this down to a 4x8, and then I'm going to cut, actually I could probably cut this 4x4 piece that's left because it was a 4x12, trim the photo a little bit, and get it to fit on there with this as my background. I just decided I am going to cut this apart because I have gold washi. So I could use my white flip that I have at the ready. I can cut off this part, attach it at the bottom, and then layer some gold washi to try to match this. I think that will look a lot better. So that's my current plan. Still have to cut this down, get this as a background, but at least I've got a plan. I decided to cut this down quite a bit, but I do have my brown background and I love how that looks against this, so that's awesome. But I feel like I need, because there's so much space here, I need an embellishment to overlap this in some way. I don't know exactly what that is, but I need it there. I could also choose to overlap some washi if I wanted to match what's going to go over here. So actually, I think maybe I better pull out some gold washi options next and get that figured out. I've cut apart the card, so this is the part I want to keep for this layout, but I am going to keep this section for a different layout. Who knows, it might get used, and I don't mind this, it just doesn't go with this layout. So when I have that, it will sit down here. Then I need to figure out which washi am I using to layer. These are the 3 that I've picked out, and just seeing this sitting here, I'm thinking the narrow might be the better option, but I like the idea of a wider one here, but it's kind of white on white. This is also a wider one that's a little bit better match, but it's very close to the width of this. So I'm sure it'll be one of these 2, but probably this one. There is the flip with the bottom section added and then washi just above it, and I do like that, so I'm going to stick with that narrow option. So over here, I think what that means is I need to adhere this, put a strip at the bottom, only partially covering, not the whole way, and then see if I can find something to overlap. If not, it may be okay just to leave it as is, but we'll see. I was having trouble figuring out what to do here, so while I was thinking about that, I decided to just put the flip together. So I have that done. I may add something up here in the corner, but for now it's put together. Then it came to me, I remembered I had this little package of old Tim Holtz chipboard phrases, and this is what I had left after using so many of them. And one of the ones in there I found says, "Choose to shine." And I'm sure it's meant for something else, but this library, wow, did it shine. As you can see, there's lots of gold happening. It's very opulent. It's clear this person was wealthy who put this together. And when you look at everything, just the light shining off it and all the gold and detail and everything, I feel like it was fitting. So I think I'm going to layer it like that, and that's all that's going to be over there. Very refined, very simple. I think that fits the theme and the mood of this, so I'm going to go with it. In order to help keep this as flat as possible, I did choose to take off about half of the backing, so it's not nearly as thick as it was before. So I just threw the rest of it away, and then I have my glue on here. Let's make sure I get it the right way. And then I'm just going to overlap like so, about there, I think. Just lift that up to make sure it's pretty even. Oh, a little high on the left side. There we go. All right, and I'll just let that sit for a little bit while it dries. Make sure that looks good. Yep. All right, then really all I have to do is figure out what else am I going to do with this side. Anything on this photo? Not sure. And then do I want something under here? I think yes. Actually, I could either do it here or here, because there's some dead space in both corners, so we'll see what I can find. I found something in my stash of ephemera here. I have a ton set aside for this. I found something, it's just a little camera there, but I feel like it's fitting because my friend who was with me is taking a picture of me taking a picture. So it's definitely camera related. So I think I'm going to actually put that right down here. This is the darker spot as opposed to the red. So I think I'm going to put it down here. And actually, let's go over a little bit more. I thought about stamping in there, but I don't think I will. I think I'm just going to attach it like that. Yep. Cut off the excess, and then I probably will put in a staple or two because that's such a wide area. Maybe we'll go two. And they can be kind of willy-nilly. Yeah, they don't have to be totally lined up. Actually, that looks weird the way they're spaced. I'm gonna go 3. There. Don't normally ever do 3, but it needed it because I didn't like the spacing. So there we go. Now, let's put this in here and see if I really feel like it's done. Let's get these lined up. There we go. And then we've got a flip in here. There we go. And then we've got this over here. I'm so glad I found that chipboard piece because that really helped me figure out my empty space problem. So let's see here. You know what? I think that's good. I don't think I need to add anything else. I'll end up journaling there, which is fine. So here's another one done for New York. Thanks for watching.